Okay, kiddos, in this video, we're going to talk all about data collection and our metric system because unfortunately in the United States, we are a minority. We need to catch up to the rest of the world. All right, so first of all, let's talk about observing and collecting our data. Number one, we have our qualitative versus quantitative measurements. Okay, the quality is the descriptive non-numerical form, so the looks of it. Okay, that's where we get the L from. And then the quantity is going to be the numerical form. So if you're talking about a basketball, it's a brownish orange, it's large, it's not um, smooth, it's dimpled. You could say it's hot outside or it's dark, it's cold, whatever. That is a descriptive term. However, quantitative is what we're going to use more of because it's more objective. Like it's 1 or 2.5 degrees Fahrenheit, or the ball is 14 centimeters in diameter, or 1.18 grams, etc., etc. So we have to make sure that we know the difference between quality versus quantity. Um, and this is where we start to talk about our lovely metric system. The metric system is used throughout the world except for in 3 countries. So we're going to get rid of feet and we're going to pick up our meters here. All right, so the metric system is what most of the world uses. You can see on this map here, the metric system is going to be most of the world. The only place where it is the imperial system, which is based off of an actual king, is going to be the United States and Liberia and Myanmar. So not very much, but it's kind of ironic that we still use an imperial system because we are Americans and we have broken factions from King George. So a yard literally used to be the length of the arm of the king, or the foot was literally the size of a foot. A pound was how many marbles they could pick up with one fist. And, way back before it was all standardized, a different king meant a different system. So they had to remeasure things and remeasure the land and all this kind of stuff. It was absolutely bonkers. But now we know a yard is going to be 36 inches, and a foot is 12 inches, and a pound is 16 ounces. But our metric system is based off of the powers of 10. And I know it's different for us, but it really does make so much more sense. When we go up to see family in Maine, since we're so close to the Canadian border, all of the exit signs have actually, miles and kilometers. So 1 mile is equal to 1.6 kilometers. All right, so we'll talk about those metric prefixes in a bit. So the metric system is also known as the International System of Units. So Système International des Units, if you want to get technical, because it is actually French. In your textbook, they are 7 base units. There's really only 5 that we're going to use in this class. So you'll see those for length as meters. Okay, so you have meters for mass. The base unit is actually kilograms, not grams. So be careful. Most of the world uses things that are heavier than a gram, and there are 2.2 kilograms in 1 pound. Um, oh, I'm sorry, the other way around. 2.2 pounds in 1 kilogram. My goodness. Pounds in 1 kilogram. Um, we all use time the same, okay, with seconds, hours, minutes. That would be very bad if we use different units of time. Temperature is Kelvin, not degrees Celsius. We'll talk about temperature units as well. And then the amount of a substance, which is the mole, MOLE, yes, like the little animal. The other ones that they have listed are like lumens for brightness, and that stuff we're not going to get into in this course. All right, so for our metric system, it is very important that we know these prefixes that go in front of the base unit. All right, so the base units are your grams, your liters, and your meters, and the metric prefix, pre, meaning goes in front of it, is going to tell you whether you are bigger or smaller than the base unit. So we have mega, kilo, hecto, and deca, abbreviated DA. These are all bigger than the base unit. Okay, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano, and pico. Deci is itty bitty and smaller than our base unit. Okay, so deca, like a decade, is 10 times bigger than the base unit. Hecto is 100, kilo is 1,000, and mega is 1,000,000. Yes, there's ones that are bigger than this in there. Okay, and then when you get smaller, we start dividing by 10. Okay, this deci is 1/10, like a decimal. Oh, look at that. Centi, like cents in a dollar, there's 100 cents in a dollar. So a cent is 1/100th of a dollar. Milli is 1,000th. If you take Spanish or French, you know mil means 1,000. Micro, like a microwave or micro machines when I was growing up, is 1,000,000th and is this very unique unit here. This is the Greek letter mu, or Americans usually pronounce it mu. And it is this like M and U hybrid, and that means it is 1,000,000th. Nano is really small. Thank you, Apple. We know about the nano. And pico, also sometimes pronounced pico, is 10 to the negative 12th. All right, and is 1 trillionth. So if you take a look at the units here, um, I'm sorry, the numbers for scientific notation, you'll see that they kind of mirror one another. So here's your base unit again. So this is at ground zero. And here is 1, 2, 3, 6. On the other way, it's -1, -2, -3, -6. And then it goes by threes. Okay. So then you have millionth, billionth, trillionth. All right, so to remember your prefixes, you can use this lovely mnemonic device. Many kittens hate dogs because dogs can't meow much. No panting, or some people say nor purr. So it's up to you. This is how we remember it, and it helps you keep all of these together. And remember, deca is bigga and deci is itty. So that kind of helps you organize everything in the correct way. All right, you're definitely going to need to know those throughout the course. And like I said, there are other kinds of prefixes as well. You might have heard of like terabytes and gigabytes or femtos and attos. There's zeptos and yoctos. There's all different kinds of metric prefixes depending on what you need it for. So if you're talking about things that are really, really big and things that are really, really small, that's when you would use those prefixes. All right, to convert your metric prefixes, and the beauty of the metric system is basically right here, because in our American system, okay, we have 1 cup, which by weight is, I'm sorry, 1 cup by volume is 8 fluid ounces. Okay, 1 pound is 16 weight ounces. 1 foot is 12 inches, and we have 1 gallon as 4 quarts, or 64 ounces. And the crazy part of our American system is I didn't repeat any of the same numbers. But in the metric system, whether you are talking about a length, whether you are talking about a mass, or whether you are talking about a volume, it's all the same. A decimeter, a decigram, and a deciliter are all 10. Okay? Centi, 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 it's all 100. a millimeter, a milligram, a milliliter. There's 1,000 of them in each one. It's not 8, 16, 12, 4, 64, or anything like that. So it's really, really useful. And it's a shame that in our country we aren't, taught these from an early age because with our global economy, we definitely need to know things like that. On your rulers that you see, okay, when you have your inches and the other side is all these little itty bitty centimeters here, okay, if you have 1 centimeter here, there are 10 millimeters in there. And then there are 1,000 meters in a kilo or kilometer. So what we do in class is we kind of look around the room and do a metric scavenger hunt. And we basically take our ruler and we realize that a ruler is 30.4-ish centimeters. And we try to estimate or guesstimate how many centimeters, meters, different things are in the room, milliliters, and grams. So we start to look into that. And hopefully it makes you a little bit more comfortable for it because we will not be measuring anything in inches. We're talking about pounds or anything like that. Those are definite no-nos in chemistry. So that is our metric system.